Hey, I wasn't planning to record this right now, but after living with the HW-QS700F as my everyday sound setup for weeks, I've got to tell you what this actually feels like when you use it every single day. This isn't for someone who shrugs and says TV speakers are okay. This is for the kind of person who notices when explosions don't hit with presence, when dialogue feels distant, when music feels thin and flat instead of part of the moment. You're the kind of viewer who knows something's missing, and deep down you know your gear should deliver immersion, not compromise. Before you go any deeper, take a moment to check the current price and availability. Systems this capable don't stay steady in stock or pricing for long, and hesitation is exactly how opportunities slip away. You know that moment, maybe during a big movie sequence where the impact wasn't there, or a game where footsteps didn't feel anchored, or a concert track that should have had low end but felt hollow, and you thought, this should feel bigger? That's the moment you realize you've outgrown compromise. Your old setup wasn't bad, it just wasn't alive. Once you experience the difference, you don't want to go back. Putting the QS700F in place didn't just add sound, it filled the space with intention. Dialogue suddenly felt anchored and clear instead of floating. Ambient cues didn't just arrive, they wrapped subtly around me. Effects didn't just get louder, they placed in space with dimension. The sub didn't just rumble, it gave low-end purpose without drowning out the rest of the mix. And with Q-Symphony tied to the TV, everything felt unified instead of disconnected. I've lived with this in real moments, late-night film marathons where every subtle audio cue finally mattered, weekend gaming where positional audio actually helped me react instead of distracting me, playlists that sounded richer and fuller instead of muddy, and everyday TV where voices came through crisp without having to chase the remote. SpaceFit Sound Pro didn't just adjust, it made the room feel tuned to what was happening, not just louder. When you're right there in the moment, you don't think about channels or features. You think about how it makes you feel in the room. Don't stall thinking I'll wait for a better deal or maybe next month. That hesitation is exactly what leads to future regret, months later when you think, I could have been enjoying all of this already. If you're wondering whether Dolby Atmos, auto-tuning, or Q-Symphony actually matter, let me reframe that. Once you feel sound that exists around you instead of just blasting forward, anything weaker feels like you're listening through a veil. This doesn't just output audio, it places it with clarity, presence, and intentional depth you thought only theaters could deliver. Here's something most people don't expect, it doesn't just raise volume. It makes sound meaningful. You start noticing details you never caught before, ambience you didn't hear, layers of music that suddenly feel alive, effects that place you in the moment instead of behind it. Explosions hit with purposeful weight, dialogue feels anchored and natural, music sounds textured and full, positional cues feel intentional, not vague. Your whole room finally feels part of the experience. Yeah, it takes a bit of room breathing space, and once you hear real Atmos depth, anything flatter feels hollow. Eventually you stop cycling through endless options and pick the one that already feels right, the one your mind keeps returning to when you think, that's the sound I want every time. So check the current price and availability now. If you've been waiting for the sign that your entertainment deserves real presence, immersive clarity, and sound that actually matches what you're watching and feeling, this is it.